YouTubers, Mike Martins here with the Mike Martins channel. Guys, thanks for joining me. I appreciate you guys tuning into some of the videos here from time to time. Guys, this is a really important one, and a lot of people that are hard up are going to these payday lender loans place or day loans or work loans and whatever you want to call them. They're going to these places and they're getting these day loans, week loans, or pay us when you get paid type of loans. And a lot of them are getting in over their head. Now, here's the problem. When you go to one of those places, you are in a position where you are out of options and you need to pay things down, or need to pay to get food on the table, or you need to pay for things that you need to get corrected or organized, or debts or whatever, right? But you know what the sad part of it is? The people that are lending you this money at these rates, or the people that are lending you this money and trapping you into these endless debt cycles, know that too. And that's the heartbreaking part of it. How humans don't have any compassion for one another, or nobody looks out for anybody. It's only the bottom line, the dollar. That's all that matters nowadays, and that's what breaks my heart. Let's take a look here. Payday lender Cigno Loans accused of trapping Aussies in endless debt cycle. It's happening in the US. I covered that too. It's happening in Canada, and a lot of Canadians are putting themselves in this precarious position because they're out of means. They have no way of cops. They have no way of getting themselves above water, and that's so dangerous. That's a very dangerous situation, and I feel sorry for the families that are going through this right now. So, I did cover this here a couple of times on the channel. Then I did one here, equity is not a lottery, you need to pay it back. That's 2 years ago. Then Australia, UK, interest-only mortgages ready to go. That was a few years back, and where I discussed that. So I've been talking about this for many years here. Okay, when Clara received an unsolicited text message from Cigno Loans during the height of the COVID crisis, she thought she'd test the waters and applied for a $50 loan. Clara's been regretting the move ever since. I've gone down a rabbit hole, the wrong hole, and I went down really hard, she told a current affair. Clara was shocked to learn that when she had to pay back the minimum of $120 to settle her $50 loan. That's $70 VIG. That's $70 undercurrent. $70 juice. And the bankers call it interest. That's $70. Yeah, I'm reading. $70 VIG to borrow 50. I've lent money out to people here in town that have been really hard up and stuff, and they just pay me back $20. They pay me back 20. There was one guy I lent him 50 a few weeks ago. He was on a really hard time. He was gonna come in and sell me stuff he didn't really want to sell. I'm like, don't sell me this. Here's $50. Just pay me back when you got it. I'll have it by Friday. Just whenever. He came back Friday and paid me. He's like, thanks, Mike. You saved me. Like, that's helping. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Clara was shocked to learn she had to pay back a minimum of $120 to settle her $50 loan. But she really panicked when she says Cigno Loans did not direct debit her bank account. No, they won't. They'll miss it. Instead, Cigno charged her, Clara multiple late payment fees at the amount of a skyrocketed over to $350. Those were dirty, dirty tricks, Clara said. Industry insider Anthony B. used to work the phones for the payday lender. He says bosses told employees to encourage clients to understate their weekly expenses so the extra money could be spent paying back the short-term loan. I've seen people getting loans for $200 and having to end up pay back $1,200, Mr. Bertrell told the current affair. These headline-grabbing repayments as high as 1,000% of actual loan amounts are largely due to the accumulation of fees rather than interest. Cigno Loans recently lost a federal court challenge preventing Australian Securities and Investments Commissions banning some of its products. Remember, I think when you're one of these little lenders, I don't think you're federally regulated. I think you're only provincially regulated, if I'm not mistaken. Slater and Godwin law firm revealed a current affair that it's been contacted by several hundred of angry single clients as it ramps up an investigation into a class action against the Payday lender. We would say these loans are in breach of Australian consumer protection laws and that the borrowers would be entitled to compensation or recover the fees, Slater Gordon lawyer William Zareno told A Current Affair. A Current Affair reached out to Cigno Loans director Mark Swampolo for comments, but he did not respond to the questions. Why? He's got a foolproof action plan here. What? I mean, they're just simple questions. But that's it. That's how it works. Everybody hides when they get caught. Everybody. And usually, I think, nowadays, because we are in 2020, people apologize now for getting caught. Nobody apologizes for doing wrong. They apologize for getting caught. Chairman of the National Credit Providers told A Current Affair that a statement that Cigno Loans is not one of its members and it welcomes ASIC action against the unlicensed credit operators. With 3 million adult Australians denied access to traditional credit, Catherine Temple from the Consumer Action Law Centre in Victoria fears a rush towards payday lenders once the federal government withdraws its COVID financial support. So that's going to be cut in a couple of weeks. So we're going to see what happens with that. That's going to be pretty bad. So, yeah. We would like to see a stop to all payday lending during the COVID crisis. We need to give people space to keep their heads above water. And at the moment, people just do not need these loans because they will just sink them into further financial hardship, Ms. Temple said. So there it is, man. It's just people are just there's Clara there. So she's borrowed 100. What is it? 100. She borrowed $50 just to see, and then she has to pay back a 120, and then they weren't crediting or debiting her. She set up a PAP payment plan where they just take the money out of the account. They didn't do that, so now she has all these fees. That's criminal. If the mafia even did this, the mafia would have been taken out, charging 1,000% VIG. It's so illegal. All right, we read that. Full statement from the National Credit Providers Association. The National Credit Providers Association is the peak of the body for the ASIC, licensed credit providers who provide small and medium loans and operate under a National Consumer Credit Protection Act. Our members provide access to credit for 3 million financially excluded Australians who are unable to choose not to get credit from a bank. It's not they get credit, they don't qualify for credit at the bank, or they're over leveraged, or the bank's actually doing their job and stopping to lend these people money. And outlines responsible lending obligations that providers must adhere to. Our members provide consumers with access to small amount credit contracts under the Act. Of these loans are strictly regulated and are limited to a maximum of $2,000. Have a one-off establishment fee and a 4% monthly fee based on the value of the loan. A small amount credit contract, SACC, incorrectly referred to as a payday loan, is not a payday loan. Payday loans for less than 16 days are called short-term credit contract, STCC, were banned with the introduction of National Consumer Credit Protection Act in 2009. So this is really long, but I just wanted to throw this out there that a lot of people are taking advantage. Like I said, you're hard up, you need to go there, you need $50, you need $100 just to get you over the next couple of days or the next week. And guess what? Guess what, folks? They know it too. They know it working there. And they're grinning when you walk in because they know they're going to get you. And this is heartbreaking. This is very heartbreaking that losers like this would do something like this and take advantage of hardworking people. And people wonder why nobody has money nowadays or no one has any savings nowadays. It's because they're paying endless fees. We're living in a world of a debt trap. The entire world is an endless debt trap. With automobile loans, with all kinds of financing that people are doing nowadays. People were coerced into student loans, saying that if you want to make more, you got to spend more. And they use that old Business 101 discussion jargon that they used back in high school. Well, if you don't spend money, you can't make money. Well, then they fathom that in the language into student loans. Well, you got to spend money to make money, right? Not in student loans, because it gets you no most of the time it gets you nowhere in life. And these payday loans, they like to use language in their benefits to help destroy people's lives, families' lives, young couples' lives. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I would like to know. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk soon.